Okay, view customization. This is perhaps the most important part of ClickUp. So, with any view, there are 6 ways to customize it. In this example, I'll use list view because it's the default and it has all 6. So I'll create one on the folder level. I've got my default one here. I might create a new view. We'll call it example. Now, because it's on the folder level, I can see tasks from both of the lists, list 1 here and list 2. The first of the 6 ways to customize it is to choose whether or not subtasks are shown. So you can see this task and this task have some subtasks. Currently, they're being hidden, so collapsed. So to show or hide subtasks, we use the button over here. Default is to collapse them. So it has an indicator that some tasks have them, but you can't see them. The second option is to expand them, which will put them below their parent task. If you move their parent task, the subtasks go with them. And all further customizations will only apply to the parent task. And wherever the parent task ends up, the subtasks will be there also. Including if it's not visible, the subtasks won't be visible. The third way is to make them show as separate tasks. So here we can see my subtasks are all showing as their own lines with a little icon beside them to show that they are in fact subtasks, and you can hover over to see what their parent task is. Now this is very important because if you choose this option, then all further customizations will apply to these subtasks individually. So perhaps their parent task gets filtered out. That doesn't necessarily mean the subtask will. It can show even when its parent doesn't, and vice versa. So, really important one to know if you're using subtasks a lot. For now, I'll leave them collapsed. The second way to customize it is by filtering. So filtering removes all tasks except for the ones that match the filter. So it's a really good way to get out of the way tasks that aren't relevant to you right now and focus down what you're doing. The main way to filter is with the filter button here, which filters on different attributes. So for example, we can filter on the status and show only where the status is active, which is one of these 3. And we can add multiple filters. So we can have it match where it's one of those 3 statuses and the due date is, let's say, this week. Seems like there's no tasks. Let's go this month instead. So now I've got a few there. And let's also say that the assignee is me. Now I've just got a few tasks left. So that's one way of filtering. There are a couple of others. The second way is a text filter, which matches task names or custom fields. So if I type in a 5 here, I'll see that the tasks with 5 in the name come up, as well as some other ones that have 5 in a custom field. So if I were to type in 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd see that I have one task come up here. It's not in the name, but if we show our reference ID custom field, we can actually search by that reference ID as well as anything else in the drop-down custom field here. This filter can also be used in conjunction with the first filter I showed you. So here it has 5 in either the task name or a custom field, and I'll also filter to just the ones that have a due date, let's say in the last month. So here are those 2 tasks that match those 2 filters together. The final way of filtering is with the people sidebar. So I can click on this everyone button here and then choose a person or multiple people, and it will show me only tasks assigned to them. This is much the same as doing a assignee filter. It's just a bit quicker, and also it allows you to filter for teams if you're using that feature. Lastly, we can turn on assign comments down the bottom to show tasks with a comment assigned to one of these people. Okay, so that's filtering. The third way of customizing our view is by grouping. So you can see here, we're currently grouping by status. This is the default. And that creates a chunk under each status. So all the ones in each status go together. Now grouping by status also includes grouping by list. So you can see we've got list 1 here and list 2, and they're being kept separate. We can change that to something else, like say assignee. And now our list separation is gone, and we see one chunk for each person, or each combination of people as well. Alternatively, we can group by priority, tags, due date. None just means it's going to be one long list, which can be really useful sometimes to keep things compact. Or, and this is very useful, we can filter by a custom field. So any custom field that has kind of clear options, like a drop down or a labels field, will be really good for that. Okay. The fourth way of customizing our view is by sorting. So actually, let's say that we go back to having no grouping, it's all just one big list, we can click on the heading of any of these fields to sort by it. So let's say we want to sort by priority, and we can click on the arrow again to change the order. So here I'll sort to have high priority at the top, and now I want to sort within these high priority ones, so I can then sort on a second column. So within the high priority ones, it'll now sort by date. And I can keep doing this on as many columns as I want to add my sorting. If I've got grouping, then when I sort, it will be within the groups. So it won't kind of move tasks between groups, but I can always choose to sort the entire column, which will just remove the groups. Okay, the fifth way to customize our view is to choose which fields are visible. So in list view, we go to the plus button on the right hand side here, and all these fields that are on the left are our existing fields. So any of them can be displayed. We simply click on them, and they'll show up in our view. If we decide we don't want them, we can click on their title and go hide column. So we can hide all of these and have as many or as few fields showing as we want. We can also resize fields and order them, so it shows the way we want. Okay, and then number 6, the last one, every view has either a settings or a show button that allows you to add some extra data to your view. So because we're on a folder, let's say we have group by none, we can't actually tell which list these tasks are in. So if we go into show, one of the options for list view is task locations. And so here we can see now which list it's in. It shows up on each task. Some other useful ones are to show closed tasks or subtasks, and show empty statuses can be nice, particularly if you are grouping by status. You see the empty ones here. Okay, there is an extra filter, and it's called Me Mode. And if you turn this on, it will show you only tasks assigned to you, and it will include tasks that aren't assigned to you, but you have an assigned comment, an assigned subtask, or an assigned checklist item. So it's very, very useful, but it's a personal filter. So if you move through ClickUp, it will stay on, which can be useful, but it can also be quite annoying, just depending on how much you actually use it. So Me Mode is a personal filter. If you do want to turn on the functionality of Me Mode for one specific view, you can do that by clicking on the view name, going to the 3 dots, and turning on default to Me Mode. That means that Me Mode will be turned on when you go to this view and this view only, and when you leave it, it will be turned off. So if I go to my first view, Me Mode is not on. Second view, Me Mode gets turned on automatically. So that can be really useful as well. Now, if we make changes to the view, so we change any one of those 6 things, Me Mode doesn't count, obviously. Let's say we change the grouping to none. We need to make sure we save these changes. So right now, if I navigate away and come back, those changes will be undone. They weren't saved. Let's turn off default to Me Mode for now. So if I make that change again, then I have this save button up here, save view. Now I can save it for everyone so that everyone can now use this new updated view. Or if it was just a tweak for myself, maybe everyone else likes to use group by none, but I like to use group by status, then what I can do is duplicate the view as a personal view. This does require a business plan, but it's great because it means that I now have my personal copy of this view that's set up just the way that I like, which might be different to everyone else. Everyone else can use the public one. I've got my personal one. Be aware that list view auto-saves when you change the fields visible. So let's say we change this to due date, group by due date, and then we add a field. You'll notice that the save button goes away. It's auto-saved. So just be aware when you're adding fields that you might accidentally update the view for everyone else. So that saves for everyone. If you do want it to always auto-save your changes without having to save each time, you can auto-save them. So the next time we see the save button, we'll go into Autosave View. Now all changes will be saved straight away. This can be really good when you're setting things up, although it does mean that if you ever make a change later on, it will always say that change and you have to undo it each time. But a lot of people do prefer this. Now if you do have a public view set up just the way you want, and you don't want other people making changes, what we can do as well is go into the view name, the 3 dots here, and go Protect View. What this will do is stop anyone from making changes until it is unprotected, and you can choose who is allowed to unprotect it. You can also add a reason why it's protected, and then we'll hit Protect Layout. So now I can make changes, like changing the due date, but I can't save them. There's no more save option because it's protected. If I navigate away and then back, it'll go back to my settings that I had when it was protected. In order to unprotect it, we need to go into the three dots here and turn off protect. Okay, so that is the 6 methods for customizing a view. If you combine them together, there is endless customization options, and it gives you really deep control over your views. The end result of that, and what we want, is that you can set up views that exactly match the information and tasks you need to see for each job. You don't have to go searching, it's all exactly there, and you can simply get the work done. Okay, that is customizing views. Before you go, I've got something for you. After using ClickUp for a while, you'll find that it starts to get cluttered, hard to use, and things can start falling through the cracks, even if you set it up really well. That's nobody's fault, it just happens. Cars need checkups to keep them running smoothly, and so does your ClickUp. What I have for you is the instruction manual on how. It's called the ClickUp Checkup, and it's a checklist of the things you need to do every 1 to 3 months that will prevent a whole swath of issues that start cropping up after you've been using ClickUp for about a year or so, sometimes sooner. So with it is a training video where I go through each of the checks myself so you can see exactly how I do it and why. A PDF with the checklist and quick reference instructions, and finally a ClickUp task template so you can instantly import all that directly into your ClickUp, have it recur each month or quarter with the checklist ready to go. Click the link in the description to get it now and prevent the headache of having the clarity you wanted from ClickUp turn into confusion. I'll see you on the inside.